Good evening, the guests and individual members of professional speakers. When I was reading the last book, it occurred to me that when we gather here every Sunday at 4 p.m. for the meetings of the professional speakers, we are all true individual. The word individual implies that we are indivisible. We are not a we are not only an assemblage of separate parts, but we are the holistic entity in entirety. Similarly, the members of professional speakers have risen from the normalcy of life for a certain commitment, and that commitment is indivisible from the normal circumstances, be it corona, be it the earthquake, or be it the personal challenges of life. We challenge ourselves every day and we reach to the goal for which we have joined the professional speakers. I welcome you all to the 97th meeting of professional speakers where eloquence meets impact. We provide a positive and supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop the communication and leadership skills resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before the starting of the meeting, I would like to invite the members of the professional speakers to introduce themselves.
Good evening, everyone. This is Aditya Gupta. My short-term goal at Professional Speakers is to publish 15 social media posts by July 21st. The progress I've made is the content is ready at the back end. The only thing left is the layout and the mood of the content, the way in which I want to present it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ankur Shrimali, and my short-term goal in professional speaker is to become a polished speaker. And my short-term smart goal is to improve myself in three aspects of structured thinking, conciseness, and logical flow. And for this, I would be delivering a speech on 28th of June to complete this goal. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Anshupriya Prasad, and my short-term goal is to improve my listening skills. And I think I'm improving quite well. And I would tell all of you about the percentage of my improvement next week. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My short-term goal at Professional Speakers is to complete the second part, that is engaging humor, by September 2020. I have already completed the level 1, which means 20% is already completed. I'm running my level 2 and level 3 parallelly, and I'm expecting to complete both of them by the first week of July 2020. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Bhuvan Rawal from Professional Speakers. My short-term goal is to complete leadership development path by December of 2020. The progress is that I've completed level 1 and I'm planning to deliver at least 2 speeches within or outside Professional Speakers Club every month in order to attain the objective. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Devina Chaturvedi. My short-term goal is to gain a better understanding of what goes into a professional speech. And I aim to achieve that by delivering 3 18-minute speeches, each covering the analysis of one speech in one platform. The progress I have made in the last week is devising an 8-step action plan for the research required for each speech, as well as identification of the first speech and the first platform. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Hani Khanduja. My short-term goal is to achieve my Advanced Communicator Gold Award by June 30th, 2020. In the last week, I've delivered 4 speeches, 4 more to go in the next week, and I'll be filing my award by June 28th, 2020. Thank you.
I'm Mukesh Thakur, and my short-term SMART goals as professional speaker is to bring a perfect score in vocal variety by 3 mentors for own benchmarks by July 31st. My this week's progress is I have read 70 pages of a book loudly and I have wrote 7,100 words. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Raj Mehta. My short-term goal at PS is to achieve second DTM by the end of this month. I was short of 11 speeches last week, but during the last week I delivered 10 speeches. Now I'm short of only one speech, which I shall be delivering today. And by the evening, all the requirements of my second DTM will be over. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rolly. My short-term goal is to complete the innovative planning path by November 2020. My progress so far is 34% complete, and I'm on track. Thank you.
Good evening. My short-term goal is to complete my third DTM by August 31, 2020. And right now there is just one HPL that stands in my goal. As soon as that gets resolved at the TI headquarters, I will be filing my third distinguished Toastmasters award.
Hello everyone, I am Sandeep. My short-term goal at PS is to complete ACP by June end this year. Today, I will be delivering final speech to complete ACB. I am working on my next short-term goal and will update by next meeting. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is Shivpriya Gauri. My short-term goal is to complete my DTM by 30th of June 2020. In the last week, I have already achieved my credit for Advanced Leadership Silver, and I would be completing my DTM in the following week. And also, I plan to write 12 articles, that is 2 articles per month by June 2020. Currently, my average is close to 1.5 articles per month because I write 3 articles every 2 months, and I plan to increase at least by June 2020 so that I can continue with the same for the rest of the year. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Can we have a huge round of applause for all of our members? Now, before moving towards our 97th meeting, I would like to acknowledge the presence of distinguished guests among us. Please have a round of applause, the virtual round of applause as I take the names here. So can we please acknowledge the presence of our Power Talk speaker, Deepak Justin. And I can also see we have with us Vandana Kakareti. We also have with us Yogesh Upadhyay.
Hi.
Thank you very much, all the guests, for joining with us in this meeting. Now, as we were talking about individuals, so I was attending this resonance in Greater Noida, where one of the keynote speaker was Nitya Shanti, and he told me 3 words, and that was still stuck with me. And these words were connection before correction. I am still practicing how to apply this in my everyday life. So while I'm talking to someone, or I am giving a speech, or I am doing any conversation, how to connect before correction. But our Toastmaster of the day is well prepared to take you to this concept. Our Toastmaster of the day is a talent and change consultant by profession and a Toastmaster by passion. She loves to travel and explore. Please welcome with a huge round of applause our Toastmaster of the day, Shivpriya Gauri. Connect to convince, Shivpriya Gauri.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I really hate listening. I never liked when I was a child. And what I hated about my school was the class presentations, where my fellow classmates give the same message which my teacher had already given, and they try to paraphrase in different ways. What I noticed that I never used to listen anybody because there is no value add which they would give. But I would always listen to my best friend. Not because the content is fabulous, not because the delivery style is immaculate, because the person connects with me. On that particular day, I realized sometimes it is not just about the content or delivery which actually attracts the audience. It's your ability to connect. It is your ability to establish that connection, that empathy, that relationship, which will make and want the other person want to listen to you. As a matter of fact, when I was trying to pursue my contest journey and I was trying to connect with audience, somebody told me, Shivpriya, the problem is that you are trying to be a hero. Guess what? Nobody likes being hero because you have nothing in common. When I reflected back on my life, I realized that I was not at all a hero. I was never the first standard, or I never secured the first rank. I was never the top of the class. I never secured more than 80% of score. And God knows how I got admissions in Delhi University, and my parents are still trying to figure out that mystery. If I talk about how great I am, people will find me not only condescending, but people will find me very different. The best way to connect with an audience is show that you are just like them. Admit that you have committed mistakes. Show your vulnerability, because deep down inside, that's what they want to know. Think about it. Think about all the favorite novels you have read, all the favorite movies you would like to relate. All of them show somebody who has gone through a tough time. It talks about someone who made a mistake and probably realized, and somewhere that helps you to connect with that audience. So the next time when you go on stage to sell an idea, to sell a product, tell them that you're like them. First, establish yourself, and not like you are the best, because just establish that you are one among them. If you do that, automatically what you want to sell will automatically be brought by them or bought by them. With that thought, I would want you to connect first and then convince the audience. Coming to professional speakers, and why it is important for me to connect with you all, because we all are pursuing excellence, and in order to do that, we are part of professional speakers. And it is definitely a very different club from any other Toastmasters club. And the structure of the meeting is one of the most unique point or unique selling point of this particular club. Our structure is slightly different because we all want to be professional speakers. That means we all want to practice giving an 18-minute long speech. And that is the first section of the day, the professional speech, followed by the prepared speeches, which is a part of Toastmasters educational program, where there is an objective-driven prepared speech, which is given by two speakers. We all want to develop our impromptu speaking skills, and thus we have our table topics section, which will help us to be a better impromptu speaker. The fourth section is something which nobody would have expected, and that's only present in professional speakers, which is the Power Talk speaker. And today we have our Power Talk speaker who hails from another district, who's a champion and who's here to thrill us with his words, Toastmaster Deepak Justin. And finally, we have the most prominent section in this entire meeting, that is the general evaluation section. And our general evaluator for today is none other than Toastmaster Anu Seth. And she has our arsenal of team which will help her in the section of evaluation. Starting with Madam Timer, Toastmaster Anshupriya Prasad. I would request each and every participant or speaker to kindly pin the timer before you begin speaking. Toastmaster Anshupriya would be showing her green card when you are at the minimum time limit, yellow card at the midpoint, and the red card when you are supposed to conclude your speech. Please remember that there won't be any indication given for the speaker in case the time gets short up. It's the responsibility of the timer to conclude, the speaker to conclude the speech within the time limit. Secondly, we have our counter of the day, which is Toastmaster Aditya Gupta. Aditya Gupta would be sharing or presenting his report during the evaluation section. And finally, we have the grammarian of the day, distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur. I would request him to kindly unmute himself and share the word of the day with the audience.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the day. The word of the day is inveigle. I-N-V-E-I-G-L-E, inveigle. It is a verb, and its meaning is to win over by wiles or to acquire by ingenuity or flattery. The synonyms can be cajole or convincing. Users can be she inveigled him to write a letter, or I am inveigling you to use the word throughout the meeting.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh Thakur. The reports of the TAC team will be shared in the evaluation section, which will be chaired by the general evaluator. Now we proceed to the first section of our meeting, which is a professional speech. And today we have our professional speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. Distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta is a passionate Toastmaster since August 2011. He's a postgraduate in Industrial and Chemistry and Master of Business Administration from FMS in Finance from Delhi. He has worked in private, multinational and government organizations like United Breweries Group, in case if you like alcohol, please do remember this, which is of Kingfisher fame, Thakur Group and Ministry of Power. Since the last 26 years, he has been working as Technology Transfer Officer at Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer and Industry Interface Unit of Indian Institute of Delhi. He's fond of watching TV, listening to birds, bird watching. He loves people, greenery, and music. He is a helpful and a progressive learner and experimenter. He strongly believes that his perseverance shall take him places. As a Toastmaster, he is currently serving as the Division E Director for this year, 2019-2020. All the very best to distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. Raj Mehta, eat but, Raj Mehta.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Before I start, I would like to offer you this biscuit. Please have it. No? Okay. Then you can have this piece of stone. It's easy to bite. Believe me. No? Okay. You must be wondering, when I'm offering you eating, why I'm putting the word but. Because whenever we want to offer something to eat, nobody wants to listen to the word but. What they want to listen is eat and more eat. So today I shall be talking about eat but, because there is a but. That but keeps your eating better. So let me invisible all of you to eating first. And for that, I would be sharing my screen. Okay. What would you like to eat? Curd or yogurt or this? Really, it's very tasty. Some sweets, burgers, pizzas, more burgers. No burgers, only fruits. Chaat papdi, sweets, rajma chawal, and at the end some drinks. Why we eat anything? Why we eat anything? What is the need? As soon as a life is thought of, there are two options. Either the life should end or life has to grow. So for growth, since we are alive and it has been decided that we have to grow, we need some energy. For getting that energy, we need nutrients. And for those nutrients, what are the nutrients? Vitamins, mineral, fat, fiber, water, proteins, etc. Why these nutrients are required? Because we have to perform some activities. So as we perform activities, we grow. So this is a cycle which keeps on going. Now what should we eat? Before you think what I'm going to tell you to eat, let me also tell you what you should not eat. Because there are things which you should not eat and there are things which you should eat. But according to me, whatever you need or want or can, you should eat. It means that if you want to eat samosas, eat them. If you need to drink, drink it. If you can choose stones, do it. But make sure that whatever you want to eat or whatever you need to eat or whatever you can eat, only do that. If you do not want to eat something, then don't eat it. And when should we eat? According to Akshay Kumar and Baba Ramdev and some other yoga gurus, they would tell you that we should have our food only twice or thrice a day. But let me ask you one thing. If your office is up to 11 p.m. and you feel hungry at 8 o'clock, and according to Akshay Kumar, your last food should be before 6 o'clock in the evening, how will you manage it? So we cannot follow any of these Akshay Kumar or Ramdev or any other yoga guru. So I would say, whenever your body feels hungry, eat it. Please mind the word body. It is not that when you feel hungry, because if somebody else is eating, you may like to eat something at that time, but your body may not require that. So do not eat when you want to eat, but eat when your body feels hungry. And how much and how you should eat. People say that when we eat, we should chew every food at least up to 32 times or around 32 times. But is it feasible? Because suppose you have some interview at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's already 7:45, and your the time that shall be taken for reaching that place is around 20 minutes. How will you manage? What you will do? You will just roll out the parantha and start eating on your way. At that time, you will not eat. You will not think that you should sit at a place and then you should eat. Similarly, suppose you have only 10 minutes between two important meetings, and your wife has given you 4 chapatis. You cannot eat all of them. You will eat only 1 or 2, because that will depend how much you can eat or how much time you have for that. So eat which is digestible. So when you're going to interview or when you're going to receive some delegate, make sure that if you've eaten or taken your food, make sure that you do not vomit on them. And there are some foods which are good for voice. We should eat at least 1.8 liter of water every day, and that should be eaten in after regular intervals, not at one all the 8.8 liter water at one. And because this proper water intake keeps our vocal cords lubricated. Now, juicy fruits, these are really good for your voice. So these are the juicy fruits, and these are the percentages which the juicy percentages of water which these juicy fruits have in them. Now, we should also eat vegetables which have high water content, and these are those vegetables. Every 100 gram of these vegetables have this much milliliter of water in them. I'm not reading them. These are available in the scale. Now, again, eat for good voice is moist proteins. And these moist proteins and their percentages are available in chicken, egg, hummus, and tuna. These are non-veg food. Again, the food which is good for voice is we should drink warm water with few drops of lemon. Make sure the water is warm and not hot. Otherwise, the hot water with lemon spoils your throat. So these are the requirements or the food or the things which we should eat for bettering or for improving our voice. But here comes the question. But what is that but? Let us hear some more thing. Now, these are the things which are not good for voice. And something which is not good for voice is basically results that how much effect it is going to put on our vocal cord. So before we go ahead, I would like to inform you something about our vocal system. Our throat has three parts: pharynx, larynx, and trachea. Now, larynx is the part which is on the lower part of our throat, and it is basically responsible for the quality of our voice. When we eat something, and it's extensing muscle pull out, and that food, it helps in sending the food inside our stomach and air into our lungs, and it is the perfect matching of this food and lungs which makes our voice good. So as soon as these are the food and air goes there, if we are not eating properly, it will create a disease called esophageal reflux, which means that it will pull our food outside. So which is not good, and due to this, we will have hoarseness, coughing, sore throat, and chronic inflammation in our vocal cords or vocal folds or vocal cords. So we must not drink ice cold water, because that will create a lot of phlegm. Phlegm is bulgum, and which will thicken as we eat more and more cold water. So that is really bad for our throat. It will freeze your vocal cord as well. Now we should also not eat raw food like popcorn, peanuts, fibrous raw vegetables, because this will also make your throat dry. Greasy and spicy food should also be avoided, like deep fried things like samosa, bread pakoda, like the things which consume a lot of oil, like halwa, like some spicy things, kachori and golgappe should be avoided, because that will also result in too much fat and phlegm. Alcohol and carbonated drinks should also be avoided, because they irritate and dry our throat, and this can also distort hearing. This makes drinking too much of alcohol or carbonate makes our ears insensible, and we are not able to know ourselves how much loud we are speaking. And milk or dairy products should be avoided as much as possible, because they also thicken the phlegm. And if a person is taking too much milk or dairy products, he or she requires to throat his clear his or her throat repeatedly. And caffeinated tea and coffee should be avoided. Instead of that, we should have herbal tea with honey. So these are the things which we must avoid. So I wish you all that you should have a better voice, healthier voice. And before I say thank you, again, I offer you some biscuits and some stones, and it is up to you what you want to eat. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. May I request a timer to indicate at the end of 1 minute for everyone to write down the feedback for the professional speaker. Madam Timer, you may show any of the cards, red, yellow, or green. Thank you very much. Moving on to the prepared speech section, our first prepared speaker for the day is Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar. He is a goal-oriented as well as a result-oriented professional, and he leads his life with passion. People call him a friend for everyone. He's a sales professional with 11 years of experience, and he's currently working as an area manager at Daikin Air Conditioning India Private Limited. He has been associated with Toastmasters for almost 4 years. Toastmaster Sandeep would be delivering a speech from Interpersonal Communication and Advanced Communication Manual, and the objectives of his speech, which is related to asserting yourself effectively, are: enjoy the mental and physical benefits of being assertive, employ the 4-step method for addressing a problem and asking for help, overcoming resistance to your requests. Madam Timer, please note that the time allocated for this project is 10 to 14 minutes. Green card at 10 minutes, yellow card at 12 minutes, and red card at 14 minutes. May I request the speaker for the day to kindly pin the timer so that he is aware of the time being taken by him at regular intervals. Thank you. I would request speaker number 1 to kindly unmute himself. Thank you. Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar, asserting yourself. Asserting yourself, Toastmaster Sandeep Kumar.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Life is a great journey, we know very well. But sometimes when it comes to our close colleagues, friends, and family members, sometimes it brings a bitter taste when they make a mistake, or even we don't tell or share the feedback to them. But this is not the only case. Let me share some more examples and just give a thought to yourself. What would you do in that situation? Picture on the left top. That lady is a very punctual and sincere, but she has a habit of chewing at work, during presentation, during meetings. What would you do? On second hand, right, it's a picture of a maid who is being on time, take less leaves, cleaning perfectly. But only problem with her is she doesn't wash utensils properly. Below picture shows 2 friends, or maybe spouse. They are very close each other, love each other and care for each other. But when it comes to watching movies, enjoyment, and even for the sports, she always makes disturbance. What would you do in that situation? Top pictures is for a manager who is a star performer and well disciplined and punctual throughout his career. The only problem with him is he takes many breaks for smoking at work and during meeting also. What would you do in that case? Last but not least, one of the backend person has a major contribution in branch operations. And he's a very hardworking guy, reaches just before the time and working even at late office. But when it comes to the caring of other colleagues, he always removes mask whenever coughing and sneezing during this COVID situation. What will you do in that case? Is the solution is directly pinching out, blaming or judging the person? Or is there any solution which can overcome your thought process, being respected, and bring out to the better results? Yes, assertive communication. We all know it is one of the main style of communication. But what constitute in this type of communication? Let us see one by one. Now, before coming to any communication, just you have to accept some of the things before making any communication. First, speak up immediately. If you have noticed something with your friends, spouse, colleagues, or mate, don't wait for hours or maybe months, because it will keep in your head for a long time, which result into anger or maybe stress. Second, directness. Whatever the issue you are facing, just be direct on that instead of revolving the points here and there. Third one is be friendly. Don't be too serious or show aggression, because it will open the other person and to accept your views, to listen effectively. Last, be calm. Use your words judiciously and take care of others' feeling as well. What is the approach you should follow in typical in this case of examples? What should you do and what you don't? State the problem, share your problem with the other person instead of ignoring, because ignoring means you are not accepting that person. Maybe sharing the problem, it will give a thought to other person and maybe give you better results. Next is share your emotions instead of shouting, screaming, or showing anger. By showing an anger, they may feel disrespected, or maybe you will feel less results on the work. If the other person doesn't have any solution, you should provide a solution rather than fixating yourself, because by making the work done is also a skill which every leader exhibit. Last, you should be very careful about admiring, showing the positive consequences. You must try to invigil the other person. It may happen that the other person feel motivated rather than warning or demotivating the other person. We will make the better understand by doing the role play. I will be doing the role play. This role play is between the manager and his team member. His team member is very hardworking and taking care of key account management, always punctual. The only problem with her is she doesn't make any communication documented for company records. Sometimes the company felt that it may lead to escalation to the top management. Now, considering all these things, how can the assertive communications play an important role? For playing the role, I would like to invite my wife Parul, who will play for role. Hello, Parul.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
So a lot of work you had it today.
Yes, hectic.
Yes. I can see that there are 15 calls you attended yesterday and we delivered all the machines and the customer got good feedback.
Yes, sir.
And you all in this different situation and more challenging situation, you always come on time and maybe require you work after office hours also. It's a good thing.
Yes, sometimes, sir.
Sometimes means?
Sometimes I stay back after my office hours.
See, I would like to say that for growing as There are two processes, one for the short time growth and the long time growth. These skills actually required for the long time growth. Apart from that, I have a feedback for you, which I had discussed with the customers yesterday. No doubt that you had did a very wonderful job. Even, but one of the customers said that they want some material and you deliver some other material. So can you please tell me what is the thing customer has asked for the 1.5 ton 3-star AC and he said that you deliver 5-star. What is the problem in there?
Actually, that customer called and he only asked for 3-star AC, sir. And we delivered 3-star AC only.
But have you, taken the mail or any form of communication so that we can tell the customer that yes, you have asked for this thing only?
No, sir, I haven't documented that. There is no record, but I remember very well.
It's a good thing that you have a very sharp memory and you are taking care of that part. But I would like to, take the importance as a company point of view because company runs on the documentations. It's not like that you are unfair and customer is unfair, but it brings all the people on the same platform. So having the documents gives the confidence to the team and to the organization as well. Yes, this is the thing which we received and this is the thing we had delivered.
But sir, I always do my job with my best, and I never face any kind of escalation. And you're telling me this thing. I am ready for the feedback, but I always do my work at my best.
I appreciate that you are doing a wonderful job, and even no doubt that you have delivered a very excellent performance. This is the only thing which I would like to say because no doubt that I am not delivering the thing which I received the top management. I absorb it for myself only. This is the only feedback which I want to say. Whenever the customer call for any service or product, just make a note of it. If customer doesn't share the email, just ask for the email and keep it right by keeping a loop in it so that we are on the same page because it may lead to the miscommunications. Every miscommunication results into wrong results. Hope you will understand. And also, being as a guru, as a leader, it is actually a good thing to make a note of everything. Hope you understand.
Okay, yes, I got it, sir. And surely I will improve myself and deliver the best results for the company. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, and all the best for your work.
Thank you so much, sir.
I hope you would enjoy this role play. I think the message got clear that what the manager wants and expectations and how did he communicate. This is the one of the example between the teammates. Neither the manager shout nor he blames on her. There are certain things which the manager has showed regarding the company point of view. Now coming to the benefits. There are many benefits of being assertiveness. First, it helps in better communication. Second, it increases the confidence of the people. And it is also a good thing to grow as a leader. It helps in better decision making by providing solutions. It also feel being respected in the eyes of others. Last but not the least, it helps to stay to believe in yourself and other people and make the goals clear. I would like to end my speech by convey this message with the beautiful words by Jim Rohn. The only healthy communication style is assertive communication. And being assertive makes you a better person. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandeep. May I request a timer to let me know at the end of 1 minute, which would be used as a window for everyone to write the feedback for Toastmaster Sandeep. Thank you, Madam Timer. Our second prepared speaker for the day is Toastmaster Honey Khanduja, soon to be DTM. Toastmaster Honey Khanduja would be presenting her speech from the manual Speaking on Television, and it is the press conference. Her objective of this speech are to understand the nature of a video broadcast press conference, to prepare for an adversary confrontation on a controversial or a sensitive issue, to employ appropriate preparation methods and strategies for communicating your organization's viewpoint, and to present and maintain a positive image of the organization. The timing allocated for this is a little tricky, so I would request the timer to please pay attention. It is 3 to 5 minutes for presentation and 2 to 3 minutes for question. Now, there is a specific context for which or under which she would be presenting her speech. So COVID-19 has forced the trainers to conduct online training and webinars. The company is deducting facilitation fees and benefits because clients are working on a stringent budget and tech intervention in the workshop. And also the cost is, it is cost intensive. The trainers, who are the employees, are protesting and not accepting the training sessions at all. And as an HR spokesperson, she needs to answer on the behalf of the organization. Toastmaster Honey Khanduja, beyond the normal. Beyond the normal, Toastmaster Honey Khanduja.
The impact of COVID-19 on business and corporate learning and development is too great to be ignored. And our organization is no different. We truly understand the concerns and outbursts of our trainers and facilitators related to the financial implications of such situations. We had to deduct the facilitation fees and benefits because of several reasons. And I would like to take this opportunity to address it here on the behalf of Blue Sky Learning. Let's try to look at our clients first. We are well aware that almost all businesses are impacted due to lockdown and restrictions. Now, businesses with millions of employees working from home are in disarray and facing greater confusion. Businesses are trying to stay afloat by launching new products, services, reaching out to customers, and reconfiguring their mode of operation. And in the same way, social distancing is making learning and development leaders to search for alternatives to the face-to-face training. Now, we have been into outbound and inbound training for behavioral and leadership training. And we all know that how important it was for us to have that physical connect. But moving to the virtual was not just as difficult for the training companies, but it was as difficult for the clients as well. Some facts and figures which we actually worked with on a survey from our consulting partner to gauge the impact of such situation is almost 40% of the organization that had opted for face-to-face classroom training before COVID-19 are in dire situation with regard to the training now. Over 51% of the organization are still trying to completely migrate their face-to-face classroom training to other formats. Over 43% of the organization have had their training budgets negatively impacted. Having said that, we have a lot of client interactions happening, and we are also trying to understand the situations of our client in which they are not able to actually manage their training budgets considering these crisis situations. Our clients, even the biggest of them, are working on very thin lines for their L&D initiative. But that's not same for all. Let me mention that our pharmaceuticals, FMCG, IT companies are still in communication with us to replan their training initiative. They don't have any dearth of training budget, but we are still to configure and approach them with the learning initiative that fits in their budget as well as ours. We are on our way for good deals to come. As of now, the future seems uncertain. That said, the impact of COVID-19 on business has redefined how learning initiatives would shape up for years to come. But that certainly means that training organizations like us and trainers and facilitators like you will have to play a crucial role in shaping these offerings to the market. The need of the hour is to plan strategically and be agile and practical to get back on track. These crisis times too shall pass, but our partnerships are going to stay long. And here's the good news for all of you from our technology team. We are getting a lot of requests from our website and social handles. A lot of our clients, old and new, national as well as international, are reaching out to us for the support, and not just for training deliveries, but for training solutions, so that we as a training partners can effectively engage their employees and still work on their learning initiative properly. We have seen a hovering increase of 8.6% in our web traffic over past few weeks, with an 8.135% increase in the topics related to remote learning, virtual instructor-led training, and leading through adversity and change. Additionally, all the articles that you had contributed, which were focused on the advantages of e-learning, have seen an increase of 88% in the traffic. Overall, our visitors are staying longer on our platform, and with a 12% increase in time spent on the page, they are searching for the solution to their problems, looking for our partnership. We have seen an elevated interest in virtual training through an increase in registrations and attendance of our webinars, virtual conferences, and podcasts. As training programs and events shift to the virtual space, our company is actually searching for and revisiting our strategy to quickly convert instructor-led training to a virtual format. We all are well aware that the technology doesn't come easy, and we are spending a lot of money on our technology initiatives also. To help our clients better, we have to do a lot of research on all training platforms and their offering to make our training more engaging and effective in terms of the results that our clients get to see. Engaging the virtual audience is quite different than presenting in person, and we all understand that. As facilitators and trainers, and as a core part of our organization, we all need to quickly upskill before we actually full-fledgedly go live in the market. I must tell you that we have good times ahead. And as I conclude, I would like to reiterate three things here. It's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy when I say that we are reviving, re-strategizing, reviewing, and realigning our ways of what we do, of how we do. It's time for all of us, you and I, and the organization, to actually restructure and revisit our mission and vision of why do we exist. We exist as an organization to help the world get rid of passive and ineffective learning experiences, and we are all together in this, and we would really urge and need your support in this. It's time to learn. It's time to learn for all of us. I think the COVID crisis has given us an opportunity to learn new ways of training delivery. We were never into virtual training. It was completely a new domain for all of us, and we truly understand that the financial implications are here to be for quite some time. But before we actually start living in good time, we need to learn and prepare ourselves better. It's time to grow and serve the world beyond normal. Because as a training organization, it's not just for the money that we survive. It's more than important for us to see how we impact the world, how we serve the world, and how we make every learning conversation happening around us more effective and engaging. In such crisis world, I think the world, in such crisis situation, I think the world needs us more. And as an organization, we need you more than ever. We need your support, not just for your journey to get into learning and growing, but to make this world a better place. All the organizations that we are serving have been writing back to us with positive things, positive changes, positive communication. And that's what we are here to address. That even when we cut down the facilitation fees, even when we cut down the benefits for the trainers and the facilitators, where we are actually suffering losses in our revenues, we have to trim down certain office expenditures. We have to make our team lean. But at the same time, we are looking ahead at glorious times ahead. We are looking to serve the nation. We are looking to serve the world, get rid of this insecurity and difficulty in learning. Because as an organization, I want you to invite to go back and see, why do we exist? We exist to serve, we exist to impact, and we exist to grow. I invite you to have more engaging conversations with our team so that we can actually understand your issues better beyond the financial implications of it. We are here to support you in your learning journey, because it's not just about the company, it's about you. It's about how you are growing out of it. We are here for you, and we invite all kind of conversations and concerns with open ear. Now, I'm open to questions from the journalists, and I would request Toastmaster of the day to allow Rolly as my role player to help me with the questions.
Thank you. Can you hear me, honey?
Yes, Rolly, I can hear you.
Thank you. So thank you so much for outlining your ideology and the reasons why we are going in for this kind of a setup. I wonder that, and thank you also for saying that we have good times ahead. You even mentioned that we have glorious times ahead. But I'm wondering that while registrations are increasing, um, the company is understanding all the requirements that our clients have. The understanding is not meted out at all towards the employees who have to actually take these virtual trainings. They have to understand the concepts. They have to understand the mechanics of delivering virtual trainings, maybe even create these virtual trainings and the infrastructure. So who's training us and how is all of this going to be taken care of with reduced benefits?
Thank you, Rolly, for bringing this up. I would like to highlight that a couple of webinars and the virtual session that we did in the month of April and May, they were primarily for the clients on not on any registration fee. They were open to registration and they were free webinar series that we got. And those webinars, as we all know, were intended to engage the people and able to get the learners out from that unhappy mode of working virtually. The webinars that we have done in the first series and the second series in the month of April and May respectively were primarily focused on remote learning and engaging your team effectively. Having said that, we had to do these pre-registrations for a lot of our clients because our clients were completely unaware, they were completely uncomfortable to actually get into these virtual initiatives without understanding the response of these people. Now that we are getting good responses from our people wherein they have supported our initiative, they have appreciated the content and the webinars. Now they're enrolling for the learning initiative wherein they are actually ready to spend some money from the learning initiative budget for the year and be assured that all the initiatives going forward for the facilitators would be well paid for and well taken care of.
Thank you so much. I do see that our time has reached its end mark. I believe we will have some more questions, follow-up questions for this discussion. I'm sure that it's not going to be solved in a hurry, but thank you for addressing that question.
Thank you, Rolly. Thank you for your question and helping me through this panel. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam Timer. Now we move to the next section, which is the table topic section. And today we have Toastmaster Ankur Srimali as our table topic master. Ankur is currently working as a consultant for Government of India in Aadhaar. He has been a Toastmaster for the last 2 years. He loves to be methodological and organized, so much so that at times people relate to him as a machine running or algorithms. I must tell you that I'm very, very fortunate today that I am playing the role of Toastmaster of the Day because I have encountered Ankur with his table topics. And trust me, they are definitely challenging. And I would wish all the very best for all his victims of today who would be the table topic speakers as our table topic master shares his interesting topic. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankur Srimali.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, for convincing the audience to participate in the table topics. Barry Posner once said, the best way to lead people into future is to connect with them deeply in the present. And great leaders find ways to connect with their followers and help them fulfill their potential. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear friends. I have a little twist today in the table topic session. Continuing with the theme which Madam Toastmaster has chosen for us, I have decided to have this session into a role play between two people. The format of this session would be that I would give a situation to two speakers and they have to inveigle each other by establishing a connect with the person and convince them to do what they like them to do. The situation is based on the pre-COVID era so that we have something which we do not want to relate to COVID. The timer, please note that the entire role play would be between the two speakers for 4 minutes. You can show your green card at 3 minutes, yellow card at 3 minutes 30 seconds, and red card at 4 minutes. The situation are real life based so that you can do quick thinking and structure your thoughts in a way to inveigle the other person. And let's begin with our first pair. I would request distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh and Devina if you can participate in the first role play. I'm not able to hear them. Rupinder and Devina.
I'm game, Ankur.
Okay, Rupinder, are you there?
Siddharth Tayyar.
Okay, so I'm going to first tell the situation to both of you and assign you a role, and then your time will begin. The situation is that Devina, you are the boss of the company, and Rupinder is your employee. As a boss, you have to convince your employee to work for 16 hours a day for the next 2 weeks straight to deliver an important project to the client. And Rupinder, you want to take next 2 weeks off because you have an urgent family get together at some different city. So you have to go to that place and you would not be present, and you are one of the key members of the team. So you both have a total of 4 minutes. I would ideally request both of you to divide it in 2 minutes and connect with the person, understand each other, and then convince them to do what you want them to do. So over to you both, Devina and Rupinder.
Oh, hi Rupinder, come sit. How have you been?
You've never been this nice to me.
What are you saying? I'm always nice, Rupinder. I've known you for so many years and you've always been there for this company. Why won't I be nice to you?
Okay, I have a feeling that you're about to ask me for work. Let me tell you, I'm going on 2 weeks leave.
2 weeks starting after 2 weeks? That's completely fine. Yeah, that's completely okay with me. See, for the next 2 weeks, as you know, we have this project that we have to deliver to the client, and the client has been on us for the last 5 days, constantly yelling, and I know you're the only person who can really make it work. So it can't be these next 2 weeks, right? It's 2 weeks after these next 2 weeks.
Starting tomorrow. Actually, it is starting tomorrow.
Rupinder,
I applied for that week leave. You approved it a week ago. I told you.
But you can't do this to the company.
You can't disturb the domestic peace of employees.
Rupinder, aren't we your family?
You're talking about my wife here.
You've been with her for so long, and yet she does not give you the freedom to go and work for your company whenever you want to. But
I'm
we
glad
always
this is
give
getting
you
recorded.
just this one time, can't you make time for your other family, this family?
Look, you've been nice to me and everything. Okay, I owe this company a lot, and I owe this project a lot. I mean, I know that this could be a career-defining project for me. So, cutting through all of that.
What you owe to this project, Rupinder? This project owes everything that it is to you. You can't leave it at this juncture.
Let me finish. Let me give you a solution. What if I can do both of them at the same time? You give me a company laptop, you give me an internet connection. I will take them with me, and I promise that I will spend as much time as possible. You know that it is going to be more than what I would normally spend in office. Why don't you do that? Anyway, I'm going to be sitting in office and doing video conferencing. I can do that when I'm sitting in Udaipur as well.
I understand, Rupinder, but see, as per my calculations, and you know I'm very good at them, it would require you to spend 16 hours every day for the next 2 weeks to complete this. I mean, why even go if you're going to spend 16 hours a day right here?
Because
on your laptop?
I am trying,
What
because domestic peace is just as important to me as this project is. I promised my wife that we will go on this vacation, and I am going on this vacation. How I go and how I do your work, that is my problem. I will make sure that your work gets done. That is the best deal that I can offer.
I truly care about a domestic peace as well. As a wife myself, let me tell you, if my husband on a trip with me is spending 16 hours on his laptop, that's not going to be a very peaceful
Whose
end.
side are you on, mine or my wife's?
Of course yours, Rupinder. Come on, how can you even think like that?
Okay, I'm losing you. So I think we've agreed that I will take the laptop. You're giving me an internet connection. You're also giving me a 25% raise. That is what I heard from you. And probably stock options as well. And thank you so much. You're a supportive boss. I absolutely love working here. I often say this is one of the best organizations to work. I'm losing you. I just can't hear you. I am losing you. I'm losing you. Where is it? Where is it? There is no if, no but, there is only saying. So here is the deal. I'm going to help you out, and I am helping you out. This is the best deal for us. I will figure out a way, and you know that better than I do. And unless you want the timer to throw that red card in your face, just say yes.
I love you too, Rupinder. It's a yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. I felt that the boss was a bit desperate and the employee was too demanding for this situation. But then let's move on to our next pair. I have Yogesh as our guest. Yogesh, would you like to participate? It would be a very easy situation this time, so you don't have to fight with others.
Hi, I'm Yogesh.
Hello, Yogesh, and I can also see Ram. Ram, are you able to hear me? Ram, are you there? Would you like to participate? Okay, so anyone else who wants to participate? Rolly, would you like to be a participant?
We could have Vanna.
Who?
Vanna, she's a Toastmaster.
Okay, I cannot see her in the list of participants.
Yeah, Vanna is not.
Okay, why not Parul? You try to take part. So we have Parul and we have Yogesh. We do have Yogesh. Yes. So the situation is that you are a group of friends who are planning to have a weekend getaway, And Parul, you are a beach person, so you want to go to Goa for the weekend and have party and have fun. And Yogesh, you are a calm and peaceful person who wants to go to Manali and enjoy the peaceful serenity there. So you have to convince your friends by talking, and you have 4 minutes for doing that. You try to connect with your friends this time who are the participants in this group, and you try to convince them that either you should go to Manali or Goa. So over to you, Parul and Yogesh.
Thank you, Ankur. So, shall we start one by one, or it will be a conversation?
Decide among yourselves. You have total 4 minutes. You can go
Okay.
ahead. Start.
Okay.
Hi Yogesh,
Hi, Parul.
how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm feeling very bored. I really want to go on a break.
I'm also feeling bored after this lockdown and COVID-19. So, I also want to go to a peaceful location.
Peaceful? No,
Yes,
I'm a very
peaceful.
fun-loving person. So Yogesh, why not we plan for Goa beach?
Goa?
Yeah,
No. I'm thinking to go for a very peaceful location. So, I'm thinking to go for Manali.
no. Manali is very, it's too cold place, and I'm very weak.
Okay, you are saying it is okay. So, but I am also not willing to go to Goa because I do not like the weather of Goa.
Why?
Because I like Manali's weather and I want to be there in peace. And if I go to beach, there will
You
be
want
many
peace?
people.
No. Okay. You want peace? No. So you can do one thing. Put your chair on the beach and sit peacefully. And let us all enjoy in the beach. Right?
No, it cannot. It cannot be peaceful. There may
And
be
we'll make
many
a group
people
of
over there.
friends. We'll make a group of friends. Sandeep is with me. He will definitely go to Goa only. I'm damn sure.
But
He
I
can't
want
say
to go
no.
to.
He can't say no. He can't say no.
He can't say no. I know he cannot say no to
If
you.
he'll say
But-
no, he'll not get dinner today.
Oh yes, I know. But in my case, I would prefer to go to Manali because nowadays it is too hot, and I think Manali will be not that much hot. So Manali is the best choice to go in these summers, rather than going to Goa.
Let me do one thing.
Hmm.
I'll picture a scenery
Hmm.
that reflect that this is a Manali scene, and I'll put it back on your chair, after your chair, right? You'll
Okay.
feel that you'll feel both atmosphere, Goa and Manali, both.
So nowadays, when we are not able to go anywhere, the same trick can be done with you. We can have a picture of Goa, and
I
you can
cannot
enjoy it.
swim there. No, I cannot swim there.
But in Goa also, they will not allow us to go to the beach. So I think
Why not?
Manali is the best option. We can go there. We can enjoy the scenery, and we can enjoy the scenery even from the window of the hotel. So Manali is the best place to go because in Goa
No,
also
but
they will not allow.
I want to enjoy. I want to enjoy Yogesh.
I want to be in a peace.
I want
And-
water. I want water sports. Okay. Let's take some opinion. How many
Yes.
of we have 4-5 groups of friend. Sandeep, Honey is there. Rupinder is there. Rupinder, you are going for a vacation, right? You take off from office, right?
He's not replying.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So where you want to go? Goa or Manali?
Whoever joins professional speaker. So if Yogesh joins professional speakers, I'm going to Manali. If you're joining, I'm going to Goa.
Are you BP membership of this club?
I have one vote. Sandeep is with me. Honey?
Because I know because he will not get dinner if he doesn't go to you.
So okay. So this is final that we are going to Goa.
No, this is not final. We are going to Manali and
Honey,
Rupender
where are we
is-
going?
I am okay with Goa, if you say so.
Goa. Okay. 2 votes for Goa. Women power.
Two votes. Anyone for Manali?
Ask Devina.
Vice-
She'll come with us to Goa.
Goa.
Oh,
Okay, this is final that we are going to Goa. Final.
okay. Let's go to Goa. No issue.
I think what you guys could have done, wonderful session. I think what you guys could have done was first go to Goa this weekend and then next weekend plan Manali, so that you can get both the weekends what you get.
I'm a finance guy and I'll consider budget.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much,
Ankur.
Yogesh. The session was wonderful and enjoyable, and I think it was very funny because Rupinder almost fought with Devina, and Parul convinced Yogesh to go for Goa. So great, great guys. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ankur. Now we are moving on to our next section, which is the Power Talk speech. And today we have a treat for all of us because this person, when I was trying to find out the introduction, I had found 12 different search engines or 12 different search results, which were giving me a plethora of information. And I was in a moment of conundrum that what exactly should I put in terms of my introduction. So thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Justin, for making the Toastmaster of the day look for introduction, and it is definitely a tough job. So distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Justin is a corporate trainer, a motivational speaker, a filmmaker, creative consultant, 3 times distinguished Toastmaster, 3 times TEDx speaker, 2016 and 2018 District 92 champion. Not only that, as a corporate trainer, he believes in touching people's lives. And I wanted to go for a formal introduction, then I read his testimony. And that really connects with our theme for today, which is Connect to Convince. What people have written about him is not that he's just a great speaker or a great orator. He's someone who touches people's lives. And we are more than happy to have him today at Professional Speakers. Distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Justin, how to lead at public speaking. How to lead at public speaking, distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Justin.
Okay. Okay, before I begin, I have 3 questions that everybody is asking almost on a daily basis. The first question is, when is this pandemic going to end? Nobody has an answer for that. The second and third question, I just want a show of hands. Am I audible? Am I visible? Okay, fantastic. My name is DJ, and that's my name, not my profession. When I was a child, I used to be extremely shy, reserved, and silent. I was so shy that in my entire school life, the only certificate that I got was what is called as a conduct certificate. Now, if you don't know what a conduct certificate is, that is given for the person who is unseen, unheard, and unknown of. Right now, in my grade 11, I moved to another school. So once I was there in this public library, British Council, and I saw this classmate of mine who was my classmate from 6th to 10th standard. And his name was Suresh Babu. I went up to him and I said, "Hey, Suresh, do you remember me?" He said, "No." I said, "DJ." He said, "No." I said, "Deepak Justin." He still said no. I named the school. He still said no. I ran through all the class teachers we had. He still said no. He got up and he said, "Dude."
I would request the timer to allow me 5 seconds. That was really great, and I am honored to be a part of this meeting so that I could listen to you today. Thank you so much once again. Moving to the next segment, which actually helps us to become better speakers and better leaders. We have the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Anu Seth. Her friends say that she can lift the mountains with her willpower and always can carry up the attitude. Toastmaster Anu Seth is an HR by professional, working in a hospital, and Toastmaster by passion for the last 8 years. Without further ado, I would request Madam General Evaluator to kindly take the stage and share our recommendations so that we could become better professional speakers. Back to you. Madam General Evaluator. Toastmaster Anu Seth, the stage is all yours. You're muted. Now I have unmuted. Madam General Evaluator, request you to kindly unmute yourself.
I think we'll get started and we'll wait for Anu to come.
Yes.
So let's call
let me call
Raj.
the first. Let me call the professional speaker for the day, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. May I also request Raj Mehta, the professional speaker, to call out people who could give feedback or whom he prefers a feedback from. Toastmaster Raj Mehta.
Thank you, Shipia. I would like to take feedback from, first of all, let us take it from DJ. DJ. Deepak.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Huh?
Heard my speech.
Okay.
It was about 8 bucks.
Okay, fine. So, yeah,
Opinion
General
about-
Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and Mr. Raj in particular.
Yeah, I can't help it out. If I'm working at this point of time, I can't help it out right now.
Okay, I think someone else is.
Somebody should mute Anu.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, Mr. Raj Mehta, I thought it is a very pertinent topic given the fact that we are what we eat. And I think the opener of your speech was fabulous. I think offering a biscuit was good. And the stone was really good. But somehow the stone looked far too tasty. It didn't look like a stone. So just a personal observation, you could have bought a gory looking stone. You know, that is a nicely smooth stone. It didn't look like a stone until you said it was a stone. When you offered that and you said, this is a stone, at first I thought, oh, another edible item. Okay, probably Rashgulla or something. You know, so I think like, you know, getting something that really disturbs you was probably a thought. The presentation in terms of the PowerPoint and the quality of the research and analysis was really good. But here's a general word which I found was a recurring thing in most of the other speakers using PowerPoint. In PowerPoint, there's something called custom animation. When I'm presenting 5 points in a slide, please hide the other elements of the slide that are not relevant. Because if you're presenting 5 points in a slide, and if you're just talking about the first point, the audience would have already read the second, third, fourth, and fifth element of the slide. So I think that could be quite a redundancy when you're talking about it. So that is one area of suggestion that I had. But beautiful delineation, beautiful connection with the audience, and lovely visuals. I thought all those visuals of all those delicacies that are presented were far too invigorating for us, and I feel like having my lunch for the second time. Okay, very powerful point. Good job done.
Thank you, Rizzy. Yogesh. Yogesh, I would like to know.
Hi, Raj. Okay, you want me feedback?
Yeah.
Okay. So this first time I have joined this meeting in professional speaker, and it is a advanced platform, I think. So if I give you a feedback for your presentation, so it is not from a regular pathways, right?
It is not yet.
It is different from that. So I liked your speech. You were talking about eating habits, what not to eat. There were words. So for feedback, what I can say, I just enjoyed. I have not prepared myself for feedback actually.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you.
Could I have feedback from Devina?
Hi, Raj sir. congratulations on completing a second DTM. The bit that I found most positive about your speech today was that you looked better prepared than the previous speech that I heard from you, and you felt more as a result of that you were more confident and well connected with the entire theme. What I would like you to improve upon is in terms of where was your input in the speech? So there was a lot of information, and that's information I could have Googled and gotten. So where was your input? I would have liked some input from you in the speech apart from the information that you provided. And I would have liked you to have lesser information and more inveiglement. That's for the grammarian. In your speech, so that it could have really been a well-rounded speech to finish off your second DTM.
Okay. Could I have Rolly?
Yes, sir. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I felt that the comfort level was very high and you were finally smiling. I love that part the best. That made a lot of difference because the content was obviously there already. And thank you for taking us on a smart and sensible route rather than the moral high ground that normally people have towards food, that, like, make sure that you're eating enough vitamins and minerals and this and that, which is sometimes a little tedious and tricky to turn around. I felt that in some cases the pictures should have been there but were not. For example, when you were talking about the larynx and pharynx and the trachea, you could have had the picture there and the explanation could have been reduced there. Some cases the pictures were a little more than required. But overall, yes, I loved the speech. And I agree
Thank you.
with the recommendations delivered by Devina and Justin. Thanks.
Thank you. Rupi sir?
Raj sir, somewhere I felt, and this is my personal opinion only, that maybe you were not comfortable with your subject matter. That maybe it is not your area of expertise. Now, when you give a professional speech, I would rather want that you talk about something that you know, not about something that you're trying to learn. So that is my only feedback. And that's just my feeling, opinion, not my judgment on it.
Do we have time? No. Thank you very much. I would be taking opinion from others offline. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Mehta. We have our general evaluator for the day back in the meeting. May I request her to kindly take on the stage and then introduce the second speaker, or the first prepared speaker.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Now I will request the second speaker, Sandeep, to take the virtual stage so that he can take the feedback from the audience. Sandeep,
Hello, everyone. Apart from speech objectives, concept of assertive communication, I would look forward for the feedback based on the recommendations from last speech, form of presentations, second role play, third is any improvement you have seen on pronunciation and enunciation, last is delivery part. I will start from Deepak.
Okay, general evaluator and Sandeep in particular. Sandeep, assertive communication is actually a very, very relevant and a very pertinent subject for a facilitator, corporate trainer. And I think your choice of that particular subject and the way in which you delineated was really good. The slide presentation was good. And again, I have the same thing to add, custom animation, because when you presented the benefits and you were reading it out, I think one of the cardinal sins of visual presentations is there's never read out a slide, because when you're reading out a slide, people say that you're giving the impression to the audience that the audience doesn't know to read. And here I am to tell you how to read. And the second thing is your reading speed is much faster, or rather our reading speed is much faster than your speaking speed. So by the time you're reading out the first point, we have already finished reading the last point. So instead of telling what it is, for example, the slide that you mentioned about benefits, it had 5 points. Instead of just telling these are the benefits, you could have possibly personalized as to how this could possibly work out in a corporate setup, in a personal setup, in a social setup for people. So I guess you wouldn't have needed to carry on with 5, probably 3 would have been a bit more apt. So the role play was fantastic. I thought it was really good. This is the first time I'm seeing a virtual role play in a Toastmasters meeting. I think that was commendable. I really appreciate you. I'm going to quote you for this because I think, having a perfect person for an assertive communication, I do understand, like, and that is a place we need to practice. I'm learning. Okay, so you picked up the right person for the role play, and I thought it was very well done, quite a commendable effort. Here's wishing you all the best.
Thank you. Rupi sir, your feedback.
Sandeep, I think it was very courageous of you to get your wife in a role play and then tell her that I'm going to give you feedback. I'm pretty sure that it is worth sleeping on the couch tonight or getting no food, whatever happens. But I think overall, I liked it. I loved your overall presentation. And I like those 5 points that you lined out. I think that is something that I'm going to take back. I also feel that over the last 4 or 5 speeches, there is a marked improvement in the way you're presenting. The one opportunity I think that you need to work on again is that monotone that is carrying across. So probably modulating your voice when you are doing the presentation.
Thank you. Okay, sir, your feedback.
Thank you very much, Sandeep. I really liked your speech throughout, along with the role play. It was well conducted than the previous role play in your speeches. You started well. The good things that I got in your speech is that picture and text. It was a very less amount of picture and text, and it was interesting for the audience. Then you went to information sharing, what to do, what to not to do, and the conclusion were powerful. You concluded it with Jim Rohn's quote, and that was powerful. My recommendation is that overall the speech went a bit slow. The pace could have been faster because we might be getting distracted by the pace of the speech. And second thing I would like to recommend you to use also, whenever you want someone to follow you, you just use ethos and pathos. You use the logos, but if you can also apply ethos and pathos, it will be wonderful. And the closing was powerful, but it can be more powerful by the use of your voice. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Ankur, your feedback.
I liked your presentation and the way you presented it in the role play part. Other than what others have suggested, one recommendation which I have is in the starting you can have a bit of high energy so that the subject interest is built up, and then once you have convinced people what you are going to talk about, then you can maybe switch to the role plays and the benefits and other parts. So that would help in the presentation flow.
Thank you, Ankur. Last feedback from Devina.
Hi, Sandeep. I'll straight away jump to the recommendation. I'm so sorry. But it's on the role play bit, which was also one of our objectives. I'm so sorry, Anshubhya. I'll just complete this quickly. The voice wasn't too clear because we were talking to each other and there was a disconnect right away as soon as we started looking at each other and away from the screen. That's for me. And B, I felt it was a little bit too long. What we could have done to make the speech more interesting is have the entire speech structured around the role play. So you begin with a dialogue and establish, say, 2 characters. There is character A, character B. Character A has an issue. Character B is trying to tell that person that you have an issue. And then display that in scenario A, character B does this. Is it correct? These are the errors that this person made. Scenario B, how could he actually have dealt with the situation better? Speak that out so the connection also remains and you establish both your points. and the speech becomes more interesting all in one go.
Thank you, Devina. Since red card is on, I will look forward for the rest of the feedback from the rest of the members. Over to you, General Elevator.
Thank you, Sandeep. Now I would request Toastmaster Hani to take over the virtual stage and seek the feedback from the audience.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. So to quickly begin with the feedback, may I invite Deepak Justin to share his feedback on my project speech. Deepak?
Okay. Yes, Hani, I thought you took up a very topical subject. I thought it's very relevant to the times you're living in, relevant to the audience. And one of the first things that I learned in public speaking is this: what do you want to say? Is it relevant to the people that you want to say? How are you going to package it? And why should you be the symbol of authority from whom I'm going to take the information? I think the 4 points were beautifully delineated by you. And the objective of this presentation being addressing a press conference, your tonality was a bit on the serious and serene side. You're not a bit lighthearted, not too conversational, not too frivolous in your entire tonality, which I thought was really good. And because I don't have a precedent to evaluate you with, I don't know how you are as a speaker before, whether you're a lighthearted speaker, whether you are a person who comes across as very serious always. So this is the only yardstick that I have. Now, I would say that, a structure could have been decided before itself when it comes to especially members of the press, because I worked in an advertising agency, and one of the twin functions that we had to deal with was public relations. And in public relations, they say very clearly, the first paragraph should enumerate exactly what the speaker wants to say. So if I'm ghostwriting for a CEO of an organization, I would, in the very first paragraph, tell very clearly what needs to be mentioned. So if there is limited amount of space that needs to be mentioned, still the press reporter will ensure that the key highlights are already covered. So I think in the very beginning, because the objective of the speech is to address the press or the members of the media, I thought that could have been a simple point that you could be sensitive about. Otherwise, I thought you have what it takes, and wish you all the best for your HPL. Looking forward to your DTM in the near future.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you so much. Can we move to Devina? Devina, your feedback, please.
Hey, Annie. I don't have any comments on your speaking prowess. Loved it. My issue is a bit something that would probably divide the audience, and that goes to the selection of the topic itself. I feel this would have been more appropriate for a communicating change project, perhaps. For a press conference, I don't see how an issue that's for the employees becomes a matter for the press conference, so to say. So I would have liked you to take up a topic which is, say, something that affects the public at large. So something like a major layoff, or something that the company is outsourcing their manufacturing to a different country, or CEO has been alleged of some crime, or something of that sort, which really would gain the attention of the press, so to say.
Yes, agreed. Thank you, Devina. Can we move to Toastmaster Raj Mehta? Raj Mehta, sir, your feedback, please.
Ani, I felt that your speech was good in the sense as far as the content is concerned, because you were able to explain your situation and how the company is facing the difficulty in handling this situation. But what I felt is that you were moving forward and backward at times like this, and that could have been avoided. And I also felt that your face was a bit hard. There was no expression on your face that you need to work on. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Can we move next to Shipriya? Shipriya, would you like to add something here for the feedback?
Thank you so much, Hani. My only recommendation, which is an additional to Devina's recommendation, is that such things such as maybe reducing or talking about internal strategy of an organization, or when you talk about how your relationship with client is, especially in a crucial time, should not be ideally revealed to a larger audience, because your press conference may also have your competitors. That's number one. And number two, somewhere I felt that while you're connecting, if your objective was to connect with your audience and trying to convince that please work on a lesser salary, somewhere your voice modulation did not have that empathy. it was more in terms of you were trying to say that the organization is doing the best. Having said that, maybe the acknowledgement of someone else suffering because of that was not covered. So I would request you to, while giving a difficult, while handling a difficult conversation or giving a sad news, I would request you to take a moment to acknowledge that part also. I'm sure that will help your speech better.
Yes, thank you, Shivpriya. I can't see any card. Is it already read? Okay, cool. So I would like to conclude here that my time is up. But yes, I would request every one of you, Roli, Sandeep, Rupinder, and everyone out here, please to share the feedback in the chat. I would love to improve and have taken these points. Definitely would work on it. Thank you so much. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Honey. This was the end of the first session of the evaluation. Now moving to the second session, that is the table topics. The first table topic conversation was between Rupinder and Devina. I would say, Rupinder, it was a nice touch with, I cannot hear you, I am losing you. But as an employee, I want to be more listening. And Devina Anand said, good luck with an employee like Rupinder. I would have fired him. In my view, you did not have to say you are married. Overall, it was hilarious and both of you did very well. You gave each other the equal amount of time and space to respond back. Coming to the second role play, that was between Yogesh and Parul. I felt it was more like a conversation. I did not know what was more hilarious, Sandeep laughing or realizing that he won't get the dinner tonight, or Parul having the wonderful ideas about changing the background. And at the end, Yogesh, come on, you simply gave up. To conclude this session, I would say, as a table topic master, Ankur, you did a wonderful job. It was a great situation and well managed. Now, coming back to the Power Talk speaker, Deepak, I would honestly say it is one of the best Power Talk I have ever heard. I liked how you refer to other speakers, the excellent ideas. I liked how you gave the ideas and not share the knowledge. And that story about 100 speech marathon, it was very touching and was the story about the scars. I could only wish it was bit longer so that we could hear a lot about you. Now coming back to the tag team, I would first request the grammarian, Mr. Mukesh Thakur, to take the stage and submit the grammarian report.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. As a grammarian, it was, I can say, more than average meeting. So I could not find any bad uses of the grammar in terms of tenses or a singular plural verb. And there were very good uses by some of the speakers. So I will start with my report with the uses of a word of the day. The word of the day was in vehicle, and I was counting with the uses of the word of day of the meeting inside the meeting. So of the meeting in the WhatsApp groups, I have counted that it was used 20 times in the guest group, and in the meeting it was used twice by Ankur Shivali and once by Devina. Coming to the grammarian part, the good use of language by Toastmaster of the day. Some good uses are immaculate, fabulous, empathy, and there were few good words while she was reading the introduction of Toastmaster Raj Mehta, DTM. Coming to Raj Mehta, the professional speaker, there was some improvement that I could perceive, and these are in terms of structure of the sentences. I'm giving just one example. When the speaker said, why we eat anything, so we can say, why we do eat anything. like this. And there were uses of some good words also that was extrinsic and some technical terms in the medical terminology. Coming to the first speaker, I found there are areas of improvement again in the structuring of words, both in terms of plural, singular, as well as tenses. I'm giving just one example. Life is a good journey. Maybe can be life is good journey. Close each other. The speaker used the sentence close each other. It could be close to each other, and examples like this. And also, I want speaker Sandeep to use the in his accent start not to pronounce R at the end of the sentence. For example, however, and it was being pronounced as however. So we can improve by improving our accent. One more example, the speaker used had did. Had did could have been done, had it done. It was, and the same words were used twice. And I also observed that the speaker was using too much use of article, especially the. So too much utilization of the word the. One more example what the manager wants, but it can be it so contextually it was what a manager wants. Honey had very good uses. There are many good examples on the structure and use of words. So for example, elevated interest strategically. Ankur also used good words like serenity. One recommendation during the table topic section was use of Hindi word by one of the table topic speaker that can be avoided. In the power talk, I was just mesmerized by the use of language, pace, and rate, and pitch, and everything, all the vocal variety as well as language. In the general evaluation section, he also used a good word, delineated. In the general evaluation section, one of the speakers said, "You want feedback? You want me feedback?" It could have been you wanted my feedback or some more appropriate structure. Overall, I could notice very good uses of the language by some of the members, and those members are Shipriya, Anil, Devina, Ravinder, Deepak, Justin, and Roli. Rest of us, we also need to work hard on good uses, and we can start learning from these members so that we can also be because we can also come to our elevated interests. Thank you very much. Back with elevator.
Thank you, Mukesh, for your detailed report. Now I will request Toastmaster Aditya to take the virtual stage and submit the counter report.
Thank you.
Master Aditya, we are not able to hear you. Toastmaster Aditya, we are not able to hear you.
The way in which our meeting goes. Before that, I just want. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Aditya. Toastmaster Aditya, may I request you to kindly turn off your video so that you have enough bandwidth to present your report?
Anu, can we move on to the timer for the time being? We can call Aditya later.
Okay, thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder. Now I request Toastmaster Anshupriya, who is the timer for the day, to take the virtual stage and submit the report.
Thank you, Anu. We started exactly on time, sharp at 4 p.m. Our business segment was for 10 minutes and we were able to finish it in 3 minutes, 3 seconds only. Let's give ourselves a huge round of applause for both the achievements. Our TMOD was allotted 6 minutes for the opening, telling the structure of the meeting, introducing role players and professional speaker. She finished on the nick of the time, only 10 seconds more. When DTM Raj Mehta took the stage, we were 7 minutes ahead of the schedule. Raj Mehta took 11 minutes, 33 seconds for his professional speech. When our first prepared speaker, Sandeep, took the stage, we were 10 minutes ahead of the schedule. Sandeep took 12 minutes, 39 seconds. Our second prepared speaker, Hani, took 11 minutes, 46 seconds. For the first part of her speech, she took 8 minutes. For the second part of her speech, she took 3 minutes, 46 seconds. By the time our table topics master Ankur took over, we were 8 minutes ahead of time. Devina and Rupinder took 4 minutes 16 seconds. Yogesh and Parul took 4 minutes 45 seconds. Our power talk speaker DJ took 12 minutes 45 seconds. And by the time he finished, we have consumed all the extra time. The evaluation segment began on the exact time, 5:32 p.m. Raj Mehta took 5 minutes 59 seconds for the evaluation. Sandeep took 6 minutes 28 seconds for the evaluation. Hani took 5 minutes 19 seconds for the evaluation. Our grammarian Mukesh took 5 minutes 20 seconds. Our counter, unfortunately, he couldn't finish his report. And as of now, we are not very much behind the schedule. I think we would be able to finish our meeting on time. Thank you. Over to you, Anu.
Thank you, Madam Timer. Can I have our counter, Aditya?
Yes. Can you please confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Aditya.
Right, perfect. I also request the host to allow me to start my video. While you do that, I'll quickly move on to my report. I have divided my report into the segments as per which we conduct our meetings. All right, perfect. Starting with the opening segment, overall, during the opening segment, we only had 8 R's and Ums. The business segment, all the members did a fabulous job. We only had 4 R's, and our presiding officer, Mukesh Thakur DTM, only had 3 R's and 1 repeat, making it overall of 8 filler words. Moving on to our second section, which is the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Shivpriya did an amazing job. She had only 8 R's and Ums during her entire session as the TMOD. Moving on to the third segment, which is the speech segment. Raj Mehta DTM had only 4 R's. Toastmaster Sandeep only had 5. And soon to be DTM, Hani Khanduja, only had 4 R's and Ums, making that a total of only 13 R's and Ums during the whole speech segment. Coming on to the table topic section. Ankur, by the way, this is one of Toastmaster Ankur. This is one of the best table topic sections I've come across. You, as a table topic master, just had 7 R's and Ums. Toastmaster DTM, Devina and DTM Rupinder's conversation just had 3 R's and Ums. Parul and Toastmaster Yogesh only had 4. And overall, the table topic section just had 14 R's and Ums. Coming on to the part talk section, DTM Deepak Justin, one of the best part talks I've ever come across. You had quite a few R's and Ums. I stopped counting after 10. Coming on to the final section, which is the evaluation section. Overall, we only had 22 R's and Ums during the speaker taking the feedback, the members and the guests giving their feedback. As a meeting of the professional speakers in 120 minutes, everybody, including the members, speakers, and the guests, only had 75 R's and Ums during the entire meeting. With that, I hand it over back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mr. Accountant of the Day, Aditya. Now coming back to the entire meeting, it was one of the most professional meetings I have ever attended. So the presiding officer is a well-mannered, it was a well-presented during the opening segment. Madam Toastmaster of the Day, it was a beautiful topic to talk about. I really admire the natural smile you have, and I want you to carry it throughout your speech, throughout the segments you deal with. We had 2 interruptions during the entire meeting, and I'm really sorry, one of that was from mine. My internet got disconnected. Now coming to the grammarian report, it was a very good, very deep report, but I request the grammarian to use CRC in a 5-by-5 ratio, which means 5 commendations, 5 recommendations, and 5 commendations. Good word of the day. Our counter, I really liked how you split your role between the segments. You have 3 recitations, 75 R's and sums. And we had 78 in the last meeting. Madam Timer, I loved your smile while calculating accurate and very digital report that you have submitted. I've already talked about the Toastmaster of the Toastmaster of the Day, Table Topic Master, and Power Talk Speaker. Now coming back to the meeting was started well on time. It was well rehearsed and it was carried out in a very smooth and a professional manner. Now I would request our presiding officer, Toastmaster Mukesh, to take over the virtual stage.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Can you have a huge round of applause for our Madam General Evaluator? Now all of the members and guests, now it's time for feedback first by the members, and it will be followed by the feedback by the guests. So members, do you have any suggestion first with respect to our business segment? Do you want any other member to help you, or you wanted to help any other member out in achieving the short-term goals? Any feedback? Yes, Devina.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mukesh. It's not that I want to help everybody, but I'm not seeking help right now. I'm not seeking to help somebody right now, but I'm seeking help for myself. I have another goal that I'm working on, which is just to get my confidence back up and get back in the groove of writing and speaking. So I want to turn it into a SMART goal, and I'd love any input on that on personal chat form. Anybody would like, who has dealt with such a goal before?
Sure, maybe we can discuss this in our members group with the help of VP Education, incoming as well as current. Any other feedback, any other suggestion apart from this segment? Let's move to Ravinder, sir. You are saying something?
I said let's move on to guest, then Racha raised his hand.
I do not know whether it would fit in our business section, but can we ask one or two guests also if they have some short-term goal and they can announce it? That will give a kind of feeling that they are into PS. Yeah,
During the
attending,
feedback
yes.
session. Okay, okay, sure. So on the guest, when I am coming for your feedback, if you have something in your mind for your short-term goal, or you have decided it during the meeting, just to tell it apart from your feedback for the meeting. Uh, can I hear from our first guest, DJ? DJ, can I have you?
Okay, you want my short-term goals or you want my feedback?
No,
Okay.
no, I want your feedback. I want your feedback, and then if you want to share your short-term goals.
Yeah, my short-term goals, I've really achieved a lot of short-term goals in the the recent past. I wanted to learn machine learning. Yes, I know how to operate a washing machine. Yes, so I've succeeded at that. Second is cloud computing. Yes, I know how much time the clothes take to dry in the clouds. Yes. Third one, C, C++. I belong to the IT capital, so we talk only this language. C was cleaning vessels. C++ is cleaning carpet and ceiling. So these are the short-term goals that I've accomplished in the recent past. In the near future, I would like to know how to make a pasta, and because we are in the lockdown is going to be extended, whether we like it or not. So I'm being very practical about my SMART goals. I want to learn many more dishes so that I think Swiggy can be knocked off as an app from my mobile. Right. So as a feedback, well, I just thought this was another club. Only this morning, 11 o'clock, when I called up the legend of the club, my good friend, he said, no, this is not another club. This is more like a professional networking forum. Right. I would say that this is a grooming center for facilitators and professional speakers. I thought it's another Toastmasters club. And I came prepared for a different talk. So 11 o'clock, I had to rewire my thinking and prepare another speech that is more dovetailed towards your session. And I thought I had a wonderful time. I thought it's a great eye-opener for me that a Toastmaster club can be used to building professionals. Because a lot of times when people come to Toastmasters, they ask this question, okay, you guys go there just to speak? No, I think here's a club that goes there to create a career and to nurture a future for people that is related to one of the greatest competencies that Toastmasters believes in, which is communication. I think it's an amazing gesture. You people are doing a fabulous job. You're wondering why my video is switched off for the vast majority. You saw a head popping out. Here's the reason. Well, just to share a small story about this little boy. Well, he's my inspiration. He's my management guru. I call him my management guru because managing him makes me feel like a guru. Well, the best part of his day and my day is every day in the evening. This is before the lockdown. Ankur actually mentioned us to think that we are belonging to the pre-lockdown era. So I used to take him for a long drive. And once I stopped at the signal and he asked me a question. He said, Papa, why are you stopping? I said, look here, the signal is red. And when the signal is red, he got to stop. And when it's green, we can move on. So on one occasion, I was lost in some thought and I was in the signal and the signal had turned green. He shrugged my shoulders and he said, go, Papa, go. The signal is green. Go, Papa, go. So all I'd like to tell you people is go, professional speakers, go. Go, Mukesh, go. I was told that you're a humorous speaker, but I've never seen anything humorous in you today, but congratulations on winning. Go, Raj sir, go. I think you come across as a person who's very sincere, earnest, and convinced in whatever you're saying. Go, Bhuvan, go. You are the first person to greet me when I entered over here, and I was wondering whether it's the right place or not. And yes, sir, you are the first person to greet me. Go, Anu, go. You are a person who I was told single-handedly assured a club in Ludhiana. He is wishing you go from Ludhiana to London. Go, honey, go. You're just one step short of your DTM. Try to embrace a cause. Go, Parul, go. Yes, woman power. I don't believe that's a word. It's an oxymoron because power stands for Shakti. Shakti is a word which refers to a goddess. So how can a god be empowered? Women already stand for Shakti. So you don't need women empowerment. Sandeep, with caution, go Sandeep, go. Be more assertive, but with the right people. Go Devina, go. I wish I had a boss and a client like you who says I love you and gives me on a vacation, asks me to go on a vacation. Go Rolly, go. I was told that you have a spinal cord problem and the fact that you're sitting straight over there, you truly are an inspiration. Go Yogesh, go. Join this club. If you're not joining, you'll regret it in the future. Go Shivpriya, go. You have connected with us and taught us how to connect. That's an amazing thing. Go Ankur, go. You are a person who taught us role plays. One day I hope you become a role model. Go Aditya and Anshupriya, you both have lovely smiles. Continue to smile. And last but not the least, go Rupinder Paji, go. You are doing a fabulous job. And I think hats off to all of you for creating this professional network. Yes, thank you very much. Continue to be a blessing. It's my pleasure, honor to be a part of you in this evening.
Thank you, Deepak. As we all will be going, I think you should come along with us because soon we are going to open our membership for virtual membership. So I would like you to have with us as we go along. Now, can we have our next guest, Parul? You are utilizing the screen of one of our members, but still you are a guest.
Thank you, Mukesh sir. So the good thing for this meeting is I always want to join this meeting, but I didn't get time. Today I got time, and there was a role play as well. So I thought, why not join the meeting as well? So I was a part of FTMC as well. I delivered 4 speeches there. So I'm very familiar with the Toastmaster family. I know Rupinder, I know Honey, and the meeting was very good. And yes, we are following social distancing as well. So yes, that is all. I really like the meeting.
Thank you very much, Parul. I hope Sandeep can inveigle you to come in our more meetings.
She will continue her Toastmaster journey next month. So maybe soon she will become a part of PS.
Oh, great. Now can we hear from Yogesh?
Hi Mukesh. So actually this is first time I joined this professional speakers meeting. So I remember last year I joined this guest group of yours, but this is first time I joined. I am a member of Grenu Toastmasters in Greater Noida. So this is quite different meeting I found, as everyone is giving feedback to a speaker. That is one thing I like the most, because you are getting feedback from everyone and their scope for improvement is much more than other clubs. So this is one thing, and there are few more things. In the beginning you asked everyone to share their short-term and long-term goals, and so there are so many things, and this is I found very few things different. So I will look to join one more meeting. I want to understand this format. Of course, this is a advanced club. So I also want to join an advanced club. I will look for it, but cannot say at this moment. Thank you, Mukesh, for giving me opportunity to share my
Thank you
feedback.
very much, Yogesh. Even if you are not a member, I would like you to come to all of the meetings as a guest. You are always welcome to attend the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think I have not missed any guest. Guests. Have I missed anyone who's still in our group? No, I guess no. So members and guests, now how was the meeting? Can we unmute all of our speakers? Can we all be noisy?
Go DJ, go!
Come DJ, come.
Can we have some noise? How was the meeting?
It was awesome.
Awesome. Pretty good.
Great.
Thank you very much. And one of my favorite questions that I ask in every meeting. Can anyone answer that?
Yes, I made notes.
That is cheating. That is cheating.
You said connect to correct, and that was said by
Nishanti at Resident
Nitya Shanti.
2070. Nitya Shanti,
President's
was
2017.
it was for the introduction of Toastmaster of the day. It was not the opening.
We were individuals.
Yes, we all
She
are
cheated.
individuals, professional speakers. So remember that we all are indivisible. We are not divisible. We are here with some firm commitment that cannot be divided by any of the situations, be it corona or earthquake or any circumstances of our life. Before I conclude the meeting, I have noted one powerful sentence used by a talk speaker. One concept of signature talk. Let's all of us commit to that. We have to prepare our signature talk. And the sentence that I was amazed at was, "If I don't know who you are, why should I listen to you what you are saying?" With this great learning, let's be better energetic members, better professional, and better enthusiastic, because our next meeting starts
Now.
Thank you very much. Our
Stopping recording. Stopping recording.